Nope, just the guys on the ground down there, the heavily armed officers that made their way inside. They actually are kind of just milling about or.
Guys, I don't know if you've noticed, but P. Diddy is in a world of trouble right now.
With enough evidence to go into a judge by using the civil cases that has came upon him. So because they used the civil cases and found that there was some criminal activity that may have been found at some one of those people who, like Cassie, Jonathan Odie didn't have a civil case against him, but Cassie, Jonathan Odie, and Lil Rob, they used the evidence that they had or the statements they made and convinced the judge that there was enough probable cause to go in there with a search warrant.
The feds, bro, the way they work, they not only have those statements, right? And they've not only read through the documents that Cassie decided to file with her attorney. It's an inside informant. It's an inside informant that's giving a tip to the feds saying, hey, if you search his properties, this is what you're going to find. This is no low-level crime we're talking about. We're talking about the federal government. The feds have raided his home. Do you know how much trouble you have to be in? They already know what they're coming there for.
But the way they did the search warrant and how they did it, man, I thought he was El Chapo or somebody. You know, they took a tactical team in there, brother. They had tactical units. You understand? And it was for allegedly a sex crime. But they took, yo, my man, did you see the artillery and the way the Homeland Security came in there? My man, you would have swore, you know, it was going to be some gun violence up in there, how they came to it.
He's right about that.
So my feeling of it is that enough statements have been made that they could probably prove. They did enough investigation. See, people think that when the federal government go in there on you, the reason they got a 99% conviction rate because most people say, they got me.
No, that's untrue. The reason the feds has a 99% conviction rate is because when they come after you, they already have the case built. They're not coming unless they already have the case built on you. They already have several informants. They've been watching you for years, months. The feds is not just showing up, guys. When they come, they mean business. They're coming to come. They're coming because they know what you have already done. They're coming to lock you up. They're coming to get even more information in the case that they already have.
They don't go to court with them. So for them to have a team in New York, because they didn't really mention too much about New York. They had property in New York, property in Miami, and a property in LA, all simultaneously hit. Those different agencies had to get together, plan that, and that's not no bull. You know, that's a lot of manpower, a lot of money. So they want to know how they spent the taxpayer. The taxpayer's gonna know why you spending my money on this to come up with nothing. So you best believe they had something in the first place to go up in there, either through, like I said before, wiretaps. You understand? Because if they convinced the judge that they need a warrant, they had wiretaps, surveillance, and different things that was going on. And then, like, it's a lot of crazy statements that have been made.
They have a program called Cell Hawk where they could trace your phone wherever your phone goes. Your phone has a GPS system on it, especially if you got an iPhone.
And you got to look at that interview that Jonathan Odie did, bruh. You know what I'm saying? That was probably more damaging than Cassie.
When the case come, bro, they're ready for a trial already when the feds come after you. And I know right now, I know P. Diddy is somewhere shaking like a stripper. He's somewhere shaking like a stripper. And think about all the millions Diddy is going to have to spend on attorney fees, man, to fight this case. Diddy needs to leave the country right now.
And that was more damaging than Cassie, because check this out. He said Diddy was transporting liquid cocaine on his private jets. Now, the DEA wasn't involved in this. It was the FBI and the Homeland Security, basically. That's because of the sex trafficking thing. But if they find any of that stuff in any one of his houses, there's a problem. Even if they find illegal guns.
We don't use cash hand to hand. Cash is untraceable. Everybody now uses a credit card or debit card, Cash App, Apple Pay. The feds know where all your money is. They don't have an investigator that's sitting here watching how he makes all his transactions with his money. And when he gets a paycheck from Universal Music Group, like, where is it going and how is it splitting up? What accounts is it going into? What he's spending the money on? Guys, this is the federal government. This is not a local parole officer. This is not a local DA. This is not the local sheriff office. They have unlimited resources.
The constitutional right goes the right to bear arms, but he got to have licenses for that. So if anybody got illegal guns up in there, if they find any kind of drugs to a high amount, cocaine and weed, I don't think Diddy gonna get charged because what he did, he put everything in his kid's name and his company.
Did you see the video of his kids in handcuffs?
Yeah, that's a tactical thing. The kids being in handcuffs is a tactical thing that law enforcement use, you understand, hoping that people who've never been in handcuffs before, that it either scares them or want to make them talk. There's no reason after they searched those kids, because they didn't have a search warrant for bodies. They had a search warrant for like materials, laptops, telephones, logs, pictures, tapes. You know, that's what they search warrant is for. They didn't have a search warrant for bodies. So those kids, when they came out, they should have searched them. And then, listen, y'all sit down right there. That was a tactical move to get them to talk and to scare them into saying something, by keeping them handcuffed like that. They didn't have to do those kids like that. None of those kids have.
I do agree with that point. I do think a lot of the agents who were there, I think they really went overboard with the way they treated the kids. But that's my personal opinion. But at the same time, I understand, because these guys have a job to do. And they're there to do their job. J-O-B. Job. That's
that I know of criminal cases against them or known for criminal activity. So there was no reason for them to do that. If them was the damn Rockefellers or somebody else, they wouldn't have had their kids handcuffed like that. But you got to realize their father has painted a crazy picture to the authorities. You understand? It's a crazy picture, and people don't realize this, brother. First and foremost, Puff has been dodging the legal system for years.
That's what they're there to do. They're there to get information. They're there to get testimony. They're there to push this case forward on P. Diddy. And like I tell you guys, when the feds come, when they show up, it's already too late. Do you think the feds went overboard on the way that they chose to raid Diddy's home?